I've been excited to film this for a really long time. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today's video is a little bit more special because it is the first video in my new skincare series. Skincare back to basics, because the skincare world is so confusing. There's so much stuff being thrown at us all the time, whether it's ingredients, products, new brands that are coming onto the market. There's just so much to keep up with, and there's so many different opinions out there. It's really difficult to kind of know how to just start from scratch, how to build up a skincare routine. It's hard to understand kind of what is even in our products, what is in our products that does the thing the product is claiming. It is a minefield. So I wanted to start a series where we're looking at maybe 2 videos a month, all dedicated to skincare. I'm such a skincare nerd. It is my favorite thing to talk about. It's my favorite thing to kind of share in terms of like all the different things I talk about as a blogger. And I genuinely find it really interesting, like when I trial a product and it does something different to my skin, or it improves my skin in a certain way, or when I try another product and my skin is just like, nope. I genuinely find skincare really fascinating, and I kind of just wanted a place where we could start from the beginning, keep things really simple and easy to understand, but also go through everything so that when you walk into your local Sephora or Mecca, you kind of know what you're looking at in terms of all of the products and the ingredients they've got in them and all that sort of stuff. We all want more transparency in the beauty industry, and I think being educated about skincare is half of that battle. So yeah, I'm really excited. Welcome to the first video. I thought I might give a little bit of a background about my personal skin journey. I've always been quite oily, like through my teenage years. I don't know of any teenagers that just had dry skin. I didn't really battle with, say, acne. I definitely had constant congested skin, so really bumpy skin. And then I always had a couple of breakouts somewhere on my face, but I didn't have proper acne. My skin was very oily. In hindsight, it's funny because I know for a fact why I had congested skin. It's because I literally used a face wipe to cleanse my face in the evenings, and then I would wake up, put moisturizer on, makeup, all that sort of thing, and wondered why I didn't have smooth, clear skin. Fast forward to maybe, I want to say 18, 19, 20, I ended up experiencing this breakout that might have lasted for about a year, and it was very intense and concentrated around my cheeks. They were really big, angry pimples, and they kind of clustered all over my cheeks, down my jaw. I was left with the scarring. I was also going through a breakup at the same time, so everything was pretty heavy in terms of my self-confidence around that period of time. And what I really did was I just threw myself into this world of skincare where I discovered all of these amazing brands by going into Mecca and talking to the girls that work at Mecca, by doing a lot of research myself. There are actually a lot of skincare professionals on YouTube and that have blogs that share a lot of information. I kind of was just really wanting to educate myself. I was really obviously desperate to get my skin cleared up. And then eventually, after discovering things like acid exfoliation and face oils and oil cleansers and double cleansing, I ended up kind of clearing my skin up as well as the scarring to end up having it look like this. Now, I'm not wearing any makeup. I might come a little bit closer so you can see my skin. I'm not wearing any makeup. I am having a good skin week, so my skin isn't always looking like this. I feel like I'm also starting to look quite pale. I need to get some more of my Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy. I love that product. But I would say I've had pretty clear, glowing, I guess happy skin for about 4 years now. So I'm 24 now. I know what it's like to feel like you're in a constant losing battle with your skin, to the point where, oh, this sounds really dramatic, but I was probably in tears most days during that year when my skin was not very happy. I was pretty miserable, so I understand what that feels like, but then I also understand what it feels like to have your skin cleared up and to feel confident with your skin. My boyfriend and I started dating, and I would cancel on dates because I was so insecure about my skin. I would go to sleep at night. If I was staying with him, I would go to sleep with makeup on so that I didn't wake up and feel insecure about my skin. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's not easy, and I think it doesn't help when this whole world is spitting perfect skin at you all the time on Instagram, or typically growing up it was all magazines, all of that kind of thing. A lot of brands would kind of capitalize on acne and try and sell you products that were full of crap and weren't going to actually fix the problem. It's about being educated about skincare so that you know what you're looking for, you know what works, all of that sort of thing. But basically what I'm trying to say is I know what it's like to feel defeated, and I know what it's like to feel really confident about your skin. In the same breath, I kind of just want to reassure you that your skin is your biggest organ. It's also really smart, but it also is sensitive. It gets upset when it's not happy. So if you aren't feeling happy about your skin, please don't be hard on yourself. It's so normal. We all just need to reevaluate our traditional idea of beautiful. However, in saying that, I'm not going to not tell you that having clear, glowing skin doesn't feel amazing, because it definitely does. I also just want to make a point of the fact that I am in no way, shape or form a professional. So everything I say kind of take with a grain of salt. If you are really concerned about your skin, please go and see a dermatologist or a professional. My whole purpose of this is more so just to share what I know from working the last 5 years in this industry, talking to lots of professionals, getting my personal questions answered. I know a thing or two about skincare, so I just kind of wanted to share what I know, but I am not giving you this information as a professional. Okay, I just want to make that 100% clear. I also want to mention that I'm not going to be covering retinol in this series because I'm only 24. I've never used retinol. Industry professionals will tell you that it's best to stay away from it until you are in your late 20s. It's basically a product you want to use to kind of get your collagen production boosted again, which isn't completely necessary in your early 20s. I personally probably am going to stay away from it until I'm maybe 28, 29, 30, depending on how my skin is looking like. But also a professional might put you on retinol if you're a little bit younger, if you've got some kind of stubborn adult acne. But when you are a little bit younger and your skin is pretty, nothing that's stressing you out too much, stick with acids to exfoliate, but we will dive into those later on. They completely changed my life. But basically in the series we are going to do like a deep dive into everything from ingredients to different products, how to cleanse properly, exfoliation, all of that sort of stuff. But today's video we're just going to really go back to basics and start going through, I guess, the order of steps in your routine. What order should you kind of do everything so that you get the most out of your products, you get the most bang for your buck, your products are going to work how they're supposed to. If you are in your late 20s or older, I definitely recommend going on to Caroline Hyren's YouTube channel. She is the queen bee of skincare. And she did an entire video series about retinol last year. She tested out all these different products, talked about different strengths of retinol, different price points, giving you guys lots of recommendations. So definitely go and check out her channel, scroll down and look for all of her retinol videos if you want to learn more about retinol. But I'm not going to be covering it in the series because I've never tried it before. So let's jump into the order of steps. So the golden rule is pretty much to go from thinnest to thickest. Thinnest at the start of your routine and thickest at the very end. The idea is to create thin layers so that your skin can actually absorb each layer and take what it wants from all of your beautiful products with beautiful ingredients and actually be able to absorb them so that they can actually work. I also want to mention that what I'm saying isn't Bible. If something works for you that I haven't really mentioned in this routine, and honestly just you do you, I'm not telling you that you have to do things the way I'm kind of saying in these videos. I'm honestly just letting you guys know what works for me, letting you know the things I've learned from all the industry professionals I have interacted with over the years, all of that kind of thing. But if something else works for you, you keep doing you, 100%. I'm going to go through the entire routine that would have like every single step you could possibly have in it except a retinol. But for a lot of people it might be too many steps, too many products. I will kind of let you know the things that I think you could probably skip out from if you aren't really that fussed on skincare, you just want a simple routine that's going to work. But I am going to kind of go through everything with the assumption that you would want every single step in your routine, and then you can kind of pick and choose what you do want to have, what you don't want to have, and I'll let you know what I guess the essentials are for you to actually get the most out of your skincare. So the morning routine is essentially all about prepping and protecting your skin for the day. You want to start out with a cleanser. I always recommend a milk or a gel cleanser just because they are a little bit more gentle, and you definitely just want something super gentle on your skin first thing in the morning when you start your morning routine. Now a lot of people seem to be under the impression that you don't need to cleanse your skin in the morning, you really need to. Because what you're doing is you are removing all of the excess product that might be sitting on top of your skin from when you applied it the night before that didn't get absorbed and it's just kind of residue. There could be dirt on your face from you touching your face while you sleep. If you aren't washing your pillowcases regularly, there is likely to be some sort of dirt on there. Remember, oils in your hair can transfer to your pillows. Not to mention your skin kind of goes through its own repairing, exfoliating process overnight. So there's likely to be some sort of dead skin cells sitting on top of your skin. And it's really important to kind of refresh your canvas. Get rid of all of the crap before you go in with your serums and your moisturizers in the morning. It's really, really important because if you think about it, if you've got a layer of like sweat from overnight, dirt from your pillow, from your hands, excess product, and then you're waking up not cleansing and putting a moisturizer straight on top of that, all of that layer of dirt is going to be pushed down into your pores and is likely to create some sort of congestion, especially if you are acne prone. Even if you feel like your skin looks clean, it's all kind of dirt and gunk that you sort of can't see, and you might feel like you've woken up with a little bit of a glow. That's because it's sweat. So you need to cleanse in the mornings. It also means that your products can actually penetrate the epidermis, which is the top layer of your skin. They can actually absorb into your skin properly, and your skin can take all the nutrients and the good stuff from your products and actually let them do what they need to do. If there is a layer of gunk there, the serums and the oils and the moisturizers aren't going to be able to penetrate that layer, and it's basically going to do nothing, and you're spending all this money on skincare that is not actually working. So cleansing might seem so simple, but it is so important, and it's really important to do it properly. So yeah, a milk cleanser or a gel. I really love this Cotia exfoliating cleansing milk. They are a really beautiful New Zealand brand. This actually has some lactic acid in it, so it gives you a nice exfoliation. Lactic acid is a really gentle exfoliating acid, so this is a really nice one that's really going to get the gunk off your face in the mornings and leave a really nice fresh canvas for your serums and oils and moisturizers to be able to penetrate nicely. So next up in your routine would be your face mist. And one of the reasons why I love a face mist is honestly just because it wakes me up and it just feels really nice and refreshing in the morning, but it also is your first layer of hydration. It's really important to do really lots of really thin layers of hydration rather than just using one really thick moisturizer, because a thick moisturizer is just going to soften the top layer of your skin. It's not actually going to absorb and penetrate. So it's a lot better to use thinner layers of hydration. It's going to work a lot more efficiently to hydrate your skin. So yeah, I love using a mist. They're really thin, refreshing, a really nice way to kind of wake up in the morning but get that first layer of hydration down. I also just want to make a point that it doesn't matter if you're oily or dry, you need to hydrate your skin properly. Oily skin tends to be dehydrated skin, and that's why it is trying to overproduce so much oil because it doesn't think it has enough. And dry skin is just dry and it needs as much moisture as it can get. So I just might give myself a bit of a spritz. Oh, this is the Me Today mist toner, another really great New Zealand brand that I love. It's given me a little bit of a glow, so that's nice. Also, I think the weather is changing and I'm not looking as pale anymore, so that is a good thing right now. Next up would be your essence. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, where does the toner go? Toners are really outdated. They were basically created to kind of get that excess dirt off your face and would end up kind of drying your skin out, which isn't actually going to help at all. You never want to kind of dry your skin out, even if you're trying to solve things like acne and congestion and stuff. Now that we know to double cleanse in the evenings, which I will get to later, and to give yourself a nice milky or a gel cleanse in the morning, toners are kind of redundant now. Essences are really lovely, and this is basically your kind of next layer of hydration. I think mists and essences, if you are a no fuss skincare person, you're fine to just be doing like your cleansing, exfoliating, a serum and a moisturizer. But if you are a bit of a skincare fan like I'm such a skincare geek. I love having all the steps. It's part of my kind of self-care, twice a day self-care thing. I love using all of my products and taking my time to use them. It really de-stresses me. Yeah, I love having these little bits in my routine. I use an essence morning and evening. It's another layer of hydration for your skin. It's going to help your serums and your oils and your moisturizers absorb better, because wet skin absorbs moisture, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of its other purpose. They also tend to have some active ingredients in them. serum. This one from Estee Lauder, it's their Micro Essence Skin Activating Treatment Lotion. This is a really nice one to use in the mornings because it gives you that really nice glowing canvas on your skin. It's really hydrating, gives you a really nice glow. I absolutely love it. But because essences are so watery, they can absorb really efficiently. So what you would just do is you would kind of I'm not going to open it up, but you would just put a couple of drops on your hand, do a little therapist rub, and then apply all over your face, down your neck, and your décolletage. So it's really important to take your skincare down your neck and onto your chest, because why try and look after your face if you're not going to look after your neck and your chest? They're kind of a whole package. So next up in your morning routine would be your eye cream. Now eye creams are made because the skin around your eyes is a lot thinner than the skin around the rest of your face. It's a lot more delicate. It absorbs products slightly differently. They were basically designed so that the skin around your eye area can actually absorb the good stuff in your eye cream, so that your eye area can stay really hydrated. I know when I don't use an eye cream, my lids and my under eyes get so dry, and then when I try and put makeup on around those areas, the makeup really clings to the dry patches, which is really frustrating. Another thing that I feel like the industry will try and tell you that this is a thing, and I don't personally feel like it is a thing. I don't think any eye cream can brighten or fix dark under eye circles. I really think it's just sleep and concealer. A lot of the time it's genetic. There's kind of nothing really you can do about it. I know that I personally get way darker circles under my eyes when I have a bad sleep and if I haven't been drinking enough water. We age the fastest around our eyes. So it's really important to take care of that area. It's definitely more of a preventative step. A lot of skincare at my age is all preventative. It's easier to prevent something from happening later on than to try and fix it later. Even though I might not see any kind of like instant crazy results, I'm kind of doing things in my skincare to stop damage from happening. And if you can do things when you're younger to kind of, I guess, stop the lines and the wrinkles from happening for as long as you possibly can, I guess why wouldn't you? I hate using the word anti-aging because aging is such a beautiful privilege, but if I'm gonna do stuff to keep my skin looking as youthful as possible for as long as I can, I'm gonna do those things. It's kind of one of those things where you're probably gonna be happy with the results maybe in 10 to 15 years if you are using an eye cream every morning and night. But I do understand why people kind of roll their eyes at the idea of an eye cream, also because they tend to be pretty expensive. But I do think they are important. It's really important not to use thick creams around your eye area because you just need to use products that are a lot more delicate. You want to apply your eye cream with your ring finger. You'd want to kind of rub it together, and then you want to do very delicate taps and maybe a little bit of swiping. And I like to take my eye cream out towards my temples and even up around my eyebrows as well. And this is the Fresh Lotus Youth Preserve eye cream. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. It's really creamy. It's like a gel cream kind of texture. It's very creamy, but I like that I can put it on in the mornings, but it absorbs almost immediately, so I can go and then put my eye makeup around there, and it's a really nice soft canvas for my eye makeup. So if I'm going to give you any advice, it's going to be invest in a good serum. You could go a lot more affordable with things like even moisturizer, definitely cleansers, mists, all that sort of stuff. You could go pretty affordable with it. There's some really high quality, affordable and mid-range skincare these days. Your serum is your treatment step, so it is a very concentrated product with ingredients that are probably going to do the most work in your skincare routine. So that's why I think it's so important to invest in a serum. It is the product that's going to treat whatever skin concerns you have. So whether that might be congestion or acne, pigmentation, acne scarring, dryness, dull skin, your serum is going to work the hardest in your routine for treating any of your skin concerns. So that's why it is so important to invest in a good one that's actually going to do something. They are really highly concentrated and packed with the good stuff, and they are also, I guess, because the texture is very, I guess, well, it's a serum. It's a serum-y texture. It's like a thick water, if you know what I mean. Because it is so lightweight, it is going to absorb really well. I know serums can feel really confusing. You can have vitamin C serums, you can have acid serums, you can have hydrating hyaluronic serums, brightening serums. We're gonna do a whole video about serums later on, so don't worry. But I just want to stress that they are very important. They are only gonna work if you are exfoliating properly and you are cleansing properly. When you're doing all of that stuff and you're using a good serum, you 100% are going to see results. They tend to come in a dropper like this, or kind of like a pump. You don't need to use too much. A little bit tends to go quite a long way with a good serum. In the skincare industry, there tends to be this kind of age-old debate whether moisturizer comes next or your face oil comes next. A lot of people and professionals will tell you that moisturizer needs to come first especially if it's something more expensive, if it's got active ingredients like a vitamin C in it and you actually want the benefits from those active ingredients, and those sorts of moisturizers tend to be a lot more expensive. You would want to apply that moisturizer first because a face oil is actually thicker. So if you put a face oil on top and then a moisturizer on top, whatever kind of active ingredients are in that fancy moisturizer, they're not going to be able to get through an oil because an oil creates a really thick barrier. If you are like me, and I tend to use a lot of just basic moisturizers, I genuinely just use my moisturizer to kind of seal all the good stuff in. I love using really basic moisturizers that just do the trick. But yeah, it's one of those things you kind of just have to work out for yourself whether you want the oil or the moisturizer first. The oil, if that's on top, that's still gonna push all of the products underneath it into the skin. So if you had the moisturizer underneath the oil, that's still gonna work and you're gonna get benefits from all of your products layered on top of each other still. Whereas if it was this way, whatever goodness is in the moisturizer isn't gonna be able to get through the oil. I really think of my moisturizer as the top of the sandwich that just seals everything in. If you've got dry skin, a moisturizer isn't going to hydrate your skin like doing all the different layers of hydration is going to. Moisturizers tend to only be able to kind of soften the top layer of skin and seal everything in. That's pretty much their purpose, just to keep all of the crap out. Oh, that's my dog. Here we go. Hello, Missy. Gosh, it's got really bright again. Yeah, moisturizers don't really moisturize the skin. It really just softens the top of it, which isn't going to fix any sort of dry skin issues, if that makes sense. I really love this one. It is Embryolisse. It's a French pharmacy cult favorite. So I actually bought this in France, but there is a website I will link below that you can actually purchase this online here in New Zealand. I think if you're in the UK, if you're in the US, a lot of pharmacies will probably still sell this. But it is a really nice moisturizer. It's well loved all around the world. And yeah, it's a really nice one. I love using this in the morning. It's also a really good one to use if you were going to be wearing makeup on top because it kind of primes the skin really nicely. It's raining. It's kind of nice though. Say you were going to go in with your oil next. Again, this is kind of one of those things that you can skip if you don't feel like you need it in your routine. I personally love using an oil. I just find that they're so nourishing. They do a really nice job at just kind of softening the skin, locking all of the good stuff in, pushing all of the other layers of product into the skin so that they can work really well. They help strengthen your skin barrier, the outer layer of your skin, so that it is nice and strong and not feeling sensitive. Keeps all of the hydration locked in, which is also what a moisturizer will do, but they also kind of keep the crap out. Air pollution, any sort of dirt that might be on your hands when you're touching your face. Moisturizers and oils literally put up a barrier to kind of keep that stuff out. The other reason I love face oils is because they can actually help to rebalance your natural oil production. So your skin's natural oil is called sebum, and oily skin is basically just an overproduction of sebum. So when I was really oily and I had that really concentrated acne on my cheeks, I introduced an oil cleanser in the evenings and started using a tiny bit of face oil morning and night. And basically it just tricks your skin into thinking it's producing enough oil. I pretty much went from the most oily skin type to now being pretty much a normal skin type. I mean, I sweat in the summer, my skin gets drier in the winter. Generally, it's pretty the same every single day. But yeah, they are great to use if you kind of want to oil train your face and be less oily. You just literally, I will show you. So you would just want to use maybe 1 drop, 2 drops. Literally the tiniest amount. You would rub it together like this, and then you would pat on your skin like this. So you don't want to be like using a lot and then kind of rubbing it around like a moisturizer. You really just want it to be the tiniest amount, so that it can be absorbed and that you're kind of getting that nice glowing skin and it's not actually sitting on top of the skin, it's getting absorbed. So finally, in the morning skincare routine, you have your SPF, and this is another one of those products that I think is just essential for everybody. I cannot tell you how important it is to wear SPF, and it's really frustrating because a lot of people think, why would you put on an SPF? They think of a really gluggy, yuck sunscreen that you would wear at the beach, but people will send me a message on Instagram and ask about anti-aging products, and I always say SPF. It is the #1 preventative step to save your skin from sun damage. So UVA is the ray that causes lines, wrinkles, pigmentation, and then you've got the UVB, which is the sunburn, the skin cancer. It's really important, even when, like, I'm sitting next to a window right now. I've got my SPF on today because sun can penetrate glass, and I just put it on every single day. There are so many products, like I said. People think, ooh, gluggy sunscreen. SPFs now that are typically sold by skincare brands, they are literally like the thinnest veil of product that you just put on top of your moisturizer, on top of your oil. You don't even notice when it's been applied. It is the most simple step to protect you. Right, sorry guys, I just had to pause for a moment because I ran out of memory on my SD card, but I'm back. So we were talking about SPF and why it's so important. And if I can get you to do anything from watching these videos, it is to get you to start using SPF every single morning. Doesn't matter how old you are. It is so much easier to prevent signs of aging than to fix them later on when they have happened. Again, a massive preventative step. Not to mention, if you live in Australia or New Zealand, we have an enormous hole in our ozone layer, so we have to be extra careful with the sun. You could experience damage just by driving in the car when it's sunny, sitting by a window, walking your dog. For all of those different reasons, I just put SPF on every single day in the morning. SPF 50, this is the Dermalogica Solar Defense Booster. I really love it because it's a booster product. You can add it to any moisturizer or any other sort of like glow giving product. But if you were looking for a more affordable one, I know the Mecca to Save Face is another one of my favorites, and it's really thin and lightweight. You won't even notice when you've applied it, and at least you can put it on and you know that you're doing your skin such a favor, preventing damage that you might want to try and fix later on in life by doing other things, but also protecting yourself against sun damage, skin cancer, all of that. So SPF, probably the most important part of your skincare routine. Okay, so let's move on to the evening routine. Your evening routine is probably more so where the magic happens. It's where your skin is going to repair, recover from the fight it's had to put up against to protect itself against things like pollution. Pollution particles are 20 times smaller than the size of your pores, so you can imagine how clogged your skin can get if you're not protecting your skin, if you're working like somewhere really busy like the city. But this is definitely the time where you want to restore your skin, get it nice and hydrated and exfoliated, ready for the next day, and that starts with the double cleanse. Now the double cleanse is kind of I'd say the last 5 years it's become really popular, and it's really important if you are someone that wears makeup every single day to double cleanse. So you basically have your first step to remove all of your makeup, and then your second step is to actually cleanse your skin. Now please, I'll put this in the same corner as the SPF. If I can get you to do anything after watching this video, it's to stop using makeup wipes. Removing your makeup in the evening with makeup wipes, it's not going to do anything. It's going to get the tiniest bit off, but the rest of the makeup is just going to move around in your face and cause some serious congestion. Not to mention, most of them aren't biodegradable, so they're not great for the environment either. So you want to start your double cleanse by using either a balm or an oil cleanser to remove your makeup. I like balms to remove my makeup. They're kind of just like a thick oil. You apply them to dry skin. You just take a dollop, massage it all over, and then you would add warm water. It will emulsify. It really just kind of draws the makeup off your face. You'd really take time to kind of get in everywhere around your hairline, down your neck, give it a nice massage, and then you would remove the emulsified milk with a warm flannel. That is really the best way to get the majority of your makeup off. If you have used a balm cleanser before to remove your makeup, you know what I mean. It's just like amazing at removing makeup. It's quite incredible actually. You can also use them to remove your eye makeup, but if your eyes are sensitive, just use a normal eye makeup remover. Oh, it's really raining hard now. But yeah, these are great because they're so efficient at removing makeup, but they are so gentle but also really nourishing at the same time. The best one I know that is probably the most affordable is the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm. I really like this Estee Lauder one, and once you have kind of removed all of your makeup, you can then go in with your second cleanse, which would be something a lot more gentle. You can just use the cleanser that you would be using as your morning cleanser. So something like a milk or a gel is going to go in there and get all of the residue off, give you a nice clean canvas to work with, and move on to your next steps. So because this is your evening routine, the next step is slightly different, and again this would be probably the next step you you would think about in terms of like using a toner, but it's not really a toner. It's like a toner, but it's not a toner. This is when you want to start using your acids, your AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids. They are the most amazing way to exfoliate, my personal favorite way to exfoliate the skin. You can use them every single night. They are actually really gentle. I know the word acid sounds really scary. Our skin is full of different acids, and acid doesn't mean harsh and sensitizing. They're actually really gentle in the way they work. They just kind of eat away at the excess makeup and dead skin cells that are sitting on top of your skin to kind of bulldoze all of that gunk off, so that you are left with a really nice baby soft layer of skin that is going to nicely absorb all of your serums, oils, moisturizers, so that they can actually work. So exfoliating is so important, and I really think acids are the best way to do it. There are two types of AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids. You've got a glycolic acid, which is a little bit more heavy duty. There is also lactic acid, which is a little bit more, it does the trick, but it's just a tiny bit more gentle. But honestly, they work amazingly, and they are probably the secret to getting that really nice glowing skin. The majority of physical exfoliants, something with like a grit or a grain, there are some that are nice. Some like rice exfoliants can be really gentle and beautiful, but for the most part they can be so harsh on the skin. They can actually create like micro tears because you're physically rubbing something on your skin, so they are actually more harsh. Whereas an acid is just going to gently eat away and leave your skin really soft and glowing and clear and amazing. Honestly, when I started using AHAs, I honestly saw probably the biggest change with my skin. I finally got the glow. I found that my other products worked better. They are honestly so great. So I really love this one from The Ordinary. It's really affordable. It's their glycolic acid. I also really love the Pixie Glow Tonic, but we're gonna do a massive deep dive into acids later on. Exfoliation, there are also other types of kind of exfoliants that sort of eat away at the skin. Fruit enzymes also do a really good job, but yeah, like I said, we're going to talk all about that in another video. Honestly, using a glycolic acid in my skincare routine changed my life completely. Exfoliating frequently is actually really important, and it might sound like you're overdoing it, but I promise you, you won't. You can always like ease into it. Do it a couple of times a week, every second night, once a night, obviously because you're bringing that baby skin out and getting rid of the dead layers of skin. You especially need to be using an SPF. Your skin is going to be a lot more sun sensitive. So then you would move on to your mist, your essence, your eye cream, and you'd move on to your evening serum. I love to use something that's got hyaluronic acid in the evenings. This is a different type of acid to those other acids I was talking about. They were exfoliating acids. Hyaluronic acid is purely just a hydrating molecule that is actually found in our own skin naturally, and it kind of depletes over time, and that's why your skin gets drier as you get older. Every molecule of hyaluronic acid holds 100 times its own weight in water, so it is literally a drink of water for your skin. So I love using a good glycolic acid and then going in with a hyaluronic acid serum, because you're really getting rid of all the gunk, and then you're really injecting that intense hydration back into your skin. And like I said, our skin is our biggest organ. It needs a lot of hydration, doesn't matter what your skin type is. And then you would move on to either your oil or your night cream. If you're going to use a specific night cream, they tend to be a little bit more expensive, so you would want to use your oil on top of the night cream so that you can get all of the benefits and the good ingredients that are in those night creams. If you just want to use your same basic moisturizer that you would use in the morning, that is completely fine, and you can probably feel free to just use your oil underneath the moisturizer, as long as it's nothing like crazy expensive, because like I said, if you put a moisturizer on top of an oil, you're probably not going to reap all the benefits of it. Oils are also great to use after you've exfoliated, because they really nourish the skin and give that extra thick layer of hydration, which is also really nice. I love using oils, like especially in the evenings, kind of like as an extra nourishing treatment step. Also, another thing I should mention, if you are using a moisturizer in the mornings that has SPF in it, don't use that in the evenings. You guys probably don't need me to tell you that. That is pretty much everything that has worked for me over the past 4 years in terms of sorting my skin out. That's kind of the routine and the types of products I have been using in my skincare routine. It's worked out really well for me. I've never been so happy and confident in my own skin. I would love to know what you guys thought about this video. If there's anything you guys have learned or you want to change in your routine after watching this, or if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know down below. I really hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of these skincare videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week. Bye!